I thought I could live without him, chasing freedom that left me empty. But the night everything fell apart, Jesus pulled me back, and nothing was ever the same.
My name is Daniel Hayes. I'm 41 years old, a systems engineer who once thought faith was something people leaned on when they didn't understand science. I used to be a believer. I grew up in church in Oklahoma, sang hymns with my mom and dad, prayed at night when I was little, and even felt close to God. But life has a way of sanding down those early convictions. After college, after moving into aerospace work and surrounding myself with brilliant minds who laughed at anything spiritual, I drifted. At first, it was subtle, skipping church here and there, brushing off my mom's questions with, "I'm just busy, you know how it is." Then it turned into a slow cooling, a gradual hardening, until one day I realized I didn't pray anymore. I didn't even think about God. I had traded him for equations, deadlines, and the pursuit of progress. At 41, I was working at a private aerospace testing site out in Nevada. We were running late-night tests, experimenting with new propulsion systems designed to push boundaries. Nights out there were quiet except for the hum of machinery, the desert air dry and sharp, stars stretching across the sky like a painted dome. I lived for that kind of work, precision, control, measurable results. Yet deep inside, I carried an ache I couldn't quite name. My marriage had ended, I had no children, my parents had passed on. When the workday ended, silence swallowed me whole. I told myself I didn't need faith, but truthfully, I was empty. One night, during a test, something happened that rewrote my life. We were running a controlled ignition sequence, and I was in the monitoring bay, staring at the readouts. At T-0, the engines roared, but then a surge ran through the systems, an overload that wasn't supposed to be possible. The room shook, warning lights flashed. I grabbed my headset, shouting commands, trying to stabilize it, and then an explosion. Not catastrophic, but violent enough to knock me backward. My head hit the console, pain shot through me, and in that instant, my world went dark. I remember floating. At first, it felt like I was hovering above the control room, watching my own body slumped on the floor while colleagues rushed in. I saw one of them, Michael, pressing on my chest, shouting my name. Another fumbled with his phone, calling emergency services. The sight was surreal. Me, lying there lifeless, as though I was both present and absent. Then the scene shifted. The ceiling dissolved, and I was pulled upward, weightless, like gravity had lost its grip. The desert night was gone, replaced by a vast expanse of darkness stretching endlessly. Yet it wasn't empty. Out of that darkness, waves of light began to form, colors shifting like liquid fire, gold, white, sapphire. They pulsed in rhythm like a heartbeat too immense to be human. As I drifted closer, the light enveloped me, warm and overwhelming. And for the first time in decades, I felt something beyond logic. I heard a voice, not booming, not external, but resonating deep inside my chest. It said, "You've wandered far, Daniel, but I never let you go." Tears I didn't know I had welled up. My life flashed, not like a reel of achievements, but as moments of faith lost. Prayers I had stopped whispering, Sundays I had abandoned, promises I had broken. Shame wrapped around me heavy as iron, and I wanted to turn away. But the voice continued. "I called you when you were a boy. You silenced me with your doubts, but my love has never been silent." I tried to speak, though I had no mouth in that place. I thought, why me? I walked away. I didn't deserve this. The answer came gently. "Because you are mine, and I am not done with you." Suddenly, the light shifted again, revealing shapes, countless figures, radiant, bowing in unison, singing a melody too beautiful to describe. It wasn't music of instruments, but of pure essence. The sound pierced me, filling every corner of my being. I realized they were worshiping, not me, not themselves, but the very source who held me there. Then I saw something terrifying. Beyond the light, at the edges, darkness churned like a storm. It twisted and writhed, reaching out like claws. I felt its pull, cold and suffocating. And in that moment, I knew if not for this light, I would have been consumed. A hand appeared. human yet not human, pierced at the wrist, reaching out towards me. The scars glowed with love and suffering intertwined. My soul shook because I knew whose hand it was. I reached back, trembling, and when his fingers touched mine, a flood of recognition hit me. Jesus. The same Jesus I once sang about in Sunday school, the one I had abandoned, the one who had never abandoned me. In his touch, I felt the weight of my years melt, the cynicism, the pride, the loneliness, all of it, dissolved like sand in running water. And then he spoke, 3 words that will never leave me. Come back home. With that, I was falling. The light receded, the voices faded, and I plunged downward, gasping as though breaking the surface after nearly drowning. My chest heaved, air burned my lungs. I opened my eyes to blinding hospital lights, a paramedic shouting, "We've got a pulse." My colleagues were around me, pale with shock, some crying, some praying. Ironically, the very prayers I had stopped believing in. I had been gone for 3 minutes, 3 minutes flatlined. But in those minutes, eternity unfolded. The doctors ran tests, explained the head trauma, monitored my heart. They shook their heads, saying I was lucky to survive. But I knew it wasn't luck. It was mercy. When I left that hospital, I wasn't the same man. I didn't rush back into work. I didn't bury myself in equations. Instead, I sat in silence, remembering his voice. I opened a Bible for the first time in 20 years, trembling as I read the words that once felt like fairy tales, but now burned with truth. I will never leave you nor forsake you. That wasn't ink on paper anymore. It was the reality that had pulled me from the edge of eternal darkness. I'm telling you this because some of you are where I was, drifting, doubting, thinking faith is outdated, that science or success or logic can fill the ache. But late at night, when the noise stops, you feel it too, that emptiness you can't explain. I'm living proof that you can run far, but you can't outrun his love. Jesus is real, heaven is real, and so is the darkness. The question is, when your time comes, which voice will you hear? I don't share this to scare you, but to awaken you. Because one day you and I will both stand in the presence of that light, and only one thing will matter. Did you say yes when he called? So if you've drifted, if you've grown cold like I once did, hear me. It's not too late. He is still reaching out. He is still saying, come back home. And let me leave you with this. What happened to me wasn't just an experience. It was an invitation. An invitation I want to extend to you. If this story has stirred something inside you, don't ignore it. Lean into it. Call on his name. He will answer. And before you go, I invite you to join me here, because I'll be sharing more of what he's done in my life and in the lives of others who have seen his power. Subscribe to this channel, not for me, but so you won't miss what he's still speaking today. Because your story, like mine, is not over. When I drifted, I believed I was too far gone, too stained for grace. But Jesus met me in the shadows, not with anger, but with mercy that broke my chains. His love didn't just restore me, it redefined me. And if he can call me back, he can call you too. Don't walk away one more day without hope. Stay close, hold on to faith, and if this story stirred your heart, subscribe now to walk this journey with us.